The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Glory to you, O Lord. As Jesus went on his way, two blind men followed him shouting, "Take pity on us, Son of David." And when Jesus reached the house, the blind men came up with him, and he said to them, "Do you believe I can do this?" They said, "Sir, we do." Then he touched their eyes, saying, "Your faith deserves it. So let this be done for you." And their sight returned. Then Jesus sternly warned them, "Take care that no one learns about this." But when they had gone, they talked about him all over the countryside. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise you, Lord Jesus Christ.
In a short time, a very short time, shall not Lebanon become fertile land, and fertile land turn into forest? The deaf that day will hear the words of a book, and after shadow and darkness, the eyes of the blind will see. That particular promise of helping the blind to see and the deaf to hear, that promise that Lebanon, after its wars, after its suffering, we can take Lebanon here to symbolize Venezuela, Trinidad, the pandemic country suffering, many countries that have had to have a second or a third lockdown. The coming of Jesus at Christmas is the coming of that mercy, of that second chance for others. And it's open to all. There's no discrimination. The mercy of God is open to all. Some years ago, I came across a young man studying in Louisiana. During a hurricane, he and a seminarian sought refuge in my house because it was about to hit New Orleans, and they drove for hours on the Mississippi side to get to me. And later, I would meet that student attempting to take extra courses and to get a job in a parish to pay for his tuition and so on. Later, I would become aware of the fact that he was missing from his place of work. And then a lady would report that she had seen him sitting in a bar and had interviewed her as a doctor coming from a far-off country. And she went back to his place of employment, saw a picture of him, and she says, "But that's the same person." And then it seems that he would have to be deported. And a young seminarian, he's a priest now, came to me and said, "But you know, at Thanksgiving, he had nowhere to go, and we took him into our house, and he had a lamentable, pitiable story of having to send home money to his very large family and a child that he had fathered while he was in his country. He says, "My mother gave him a donation, my father did, and I too gave him." And I said, "I suppose your next question is, how can you ever trust other people from his country?" He says, "Yes. I don't know if we were betrayed. I don't know if we were being lied to." And I said to him, "We have no evidence of all of the people of his country, but you do, from Him alone. But what you may not realize is the desperation in all of His needs. We don't know the truth of His needs, but we do know that you helped, your mother helped, and your father helped. We do know that you reached out to the poorest of the poor in this man. And the thing is, when you are desperate, you could lie, you could be illegal, you could beg from more than one place. And I said, the language of desperation, a lot of times, is not in line with our language. And that's what hurts us. I said, but don't question how much you gave, if you should have given. I commend you for not having questioned at all. So don't spoil that now, because, as one writer says, we are the gloves into which God puts His hand to help the poor, to help the destitute, the desperate, the addicted, the migrant, the illegal. My dear brothers and sisters, we must give without counting the cost. And we must let God be the immigration officer. We must let God be the judge. We must let God be the attorney. And we just need to do the work of mercy.